Welcome to Intuitive Real Talk, the podcast where I'm going to cut through all the BS. I'm going to light a fire under your spiritual ass, and I'm going to remind you your intuition isn't weird. It is your superpower. Hi, I'm Stephanie, a psychic medium, intuitive coach, animal communicator, paranormal expert. Yep, all the things intuitive. I'm also a professional truth dropper. So, what are we going to do here? We're going to dive into it all. Shadow work, spirit talk, intuitive gifts, and yep, even aliens, like a spiritual dumpster dive, but with purpose. There's going to be no gatekeeping, no fluff, no performative love and light bullshit, just raw, unfiltered conversations for people who know they came here to shake shit up. Let's get into it. Hi there. So I had back surgery in 2018. I had my L4, L5 fused, which is your lower back. And it took about a good year and a half to heal from this. Physically, mentally, you name it. It was a very slow healing. Let me tell you why. So I am a psychic medium, intuitive. I'm really strong in my gifts. I've been awake all of my life. And when I had my surgery, when I woke up on my first day, because it was a 2-day process, I was heavily medicated because of the pain and them going through my stomach the first day and all that stuff. And so I was so heavily medicated that when I came forward, a spirit that was in the hospital rushed at me and it scared me because, again, I was medicated and it looked scarier than it needed to be. And I mean, I talk to the dead all the time. They don't faze me at all. But because, of course, I was vulnerable, it was scary. And so when this happened, it was like my whole body locked down. And I mean, like my spiritual, my intuitive side, all locked down, saying it's not safe to see the dead. It's not safe to use your gifts. And when that happened, my year and a half of recovery was because I had this ungodly amount of anxiety. Like I have never had this type of anxiety. I mean, we all worry, right? We all have those type of things. But because I couldn't sense anything, I wasn't tapping into my intuition because I was subconsciously blocking it. I felt not whole. I felt lost. I felt weepy and sensitive. And so, which I know everything that experience happened so that I could see when people are struggling to use their intuition or not connected into their intuition, everything they might be carrying, which is worry and feeling like you're too much and feeling like you don't want to. There's just a variety of unhealthy emotions that I had to experience and go through, which then made me not honor my body. It made me become very depressed. And I worked in law enforcement at the time. And so I was a 911 dispatcher, but I was really good at sensing things. Like I was considered the witch at work. And one of my previous lieutenants came up to me when I was at a grocery store with my partner, and he came up behind me and he put his hands over my eyes. Any other time I would have been like, this is who it is. This is what's going on. I could feel nothing. I could feel absolutely nothing. I couldn't sense anything. And it was like all of a sudden I looked at him and his body language was like, I'm so disappointed in you. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm disappointed in myself. I mean, he wasn't disappointed in me as a person, but he just couldn't believe it. Like he was just like dumbfounded. Like this woman that knows everything, senses everything, sees everything, can predict shit, all of a sudden cannot tell who's standing behind her. And any other time, I would have just known it. And so it was like right then, my subconscious was like, F this. Like, you're gifted as shit. Why are you holding back? Why are you not honoring what you were gifted with in this journey? Why are you making things harder than it needs to be? And so right then is when I started to slowly allow it to come back. And I even came out of the spiritual closet, started giving readings professionally instead of just messages that I was always doing, and helping other people to use their gifts and know it's safe and all that stuff. So fast forward to now, because I never honored my body the way I needed to, I'm having back pain. I've been having this issue for over a year now. And my first thought was I never want to have surgery again. And yesterday I was at a sound bath and all of a sudden I had this epiphany that I was carrying the trauma of, I thought, losing my gifts, AKA shutting down my gifts, which is like, I have to say, when you are not using your gifts and you have been open all of your life, it literally feels like part of you died. I don't know how else to say it except for I felt half dead. Like I truly was just like, I use my intuition for effing everything, you know? And so when that happened, I didn't realize the pain was causing more trauma in my body, which was not allowing me to do what I need to do to heal my body. Because I kept using the trauma and I wasn't doing what I needed to do to heal it, I was making my body worse. So my human shell is saying, hey, you need this to help heal it, because we can all self heal until you've actually damaged something in your body and you need help, right? And so I just want to encourage you that if you've had something happen similar, or if you've had something happen with your gifts, please know that's usually your subconscious, but that there is a trauma truly living in your human shell, because that's when we are in chronic pain or we have chronic syndromes or things like that. There is almost always, and we always think it's not always, but oftentimes we'll think it is a ancestral or generational energy. It can be energy from this life too, but it can be also ancestral or generational. You have to look deeper. And this full moon we just had with Mercury in retrograde and Lionsgate, that was meant to open doors. You're probably feeling a little tired. You're probably feeling into yourself. You're probably allowing these triggers to happen, or you might not be allowing them, but they're happening to let you see something. So today, just kind of take that inventory within of, where am I not honoring myself because I'm allowing some sort of trauma to stop me from moving forward. And I know I have been saying over and over, I want to be healthy. I want to be physically in a shell that in a journey with me instead of me trying to drag it along.